Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, round of applause. All right. It's been 2 exciting days of competition here at Virginia International Raceway for the drivers in this USF Juniors program, the opening rung of the USF Pro Championships presented by Cooper Tires. 2 races in the books, 1 still to go. Hello, folks. My name is Rob Howden. Looking forward to getting things underway with race number 3 to cap it all off. Field is already onto the racetrack. They are getting ready to come to the green. It will be Nicholas Giaffoni, your point leader from D-Force Racing, leading them to the line. Jimmy Lockhart from VRD Racing, his first front row start here in USF Juniors. Row 2 will have Jack Jeffers alongside Ethan Ho. Row 3, Joey Brienza and Hudson Schwartz. Row 5, Eric Schouten and Max Taylor. It'll be then Quinn Armstrong and Brady Golem. Back on row 6, Ethan Barker and Lucas Facuri, and Carson Eder and Giovanni Cabrera rounding out the 14 drivers. 69 degrees, trackside temperature, much cooler than it was yesterday. And we're about to go racing, diving right into it. The final race of this triple header. Field set coming to the front straightaway. Giaffoni on the inside. Lockhart on the outside. Green, green, green. And underway. Into turn number 1 now. They'll go 3 wide. Driver making a move to the outside. Ethan Ho trying the outside at turn number 1. Little touch on the bottom there for, I believe, Jeffers. Touched the right front down onto the grass. He may end up coming into the second spot, but he's getting challenged as well. Coming down the inside with the number 48 of Lockhart. Giaffoni, though, using this to pull quickly out into the lead. Those behind need to settle back in a bit. Remember, you do not want to get the leader pulling away. I think that might be Brienza up into 3rd. Joey Brienza's gotten to 3rd. They cannot let Giaffoni pull away. And here we are, the opening lap, now in the books. 15 laps on the docket for the final race of the triple header. And away we go. Jeffers there, P4. Right behind him, I don't know if that's Eric Schouten potentially up there, or maybe Ethan Ho. We'll have a look when they come back around. We'll get that drone view now as they come down through the S's, through turn 10, over to turn number 11 and 12, the Oak Tree corner. Giaffoni's got a lot of open racetrack. Look at that gap. Can he pull away early? I don't know, because Lockhart has shown good speed over both of the races. Let's see if they're able to use the draft coming up the straightaway, or did Giaffoni get enough of a gap as they battle behind him over the opening couple of corners? We'll lose them, of course, as they head into turn 14. We'll pick them up again when they come out of 14 through the roller coaster of turn 15. Who is going to be the leader when they come back through? There's the gap between first and second. Giaffoni with a solid advantage now. It's still Lockhart running in second. Brienza 3rd. 4th spot is Jeffers. There's the 48 right there of Jimmy Lockhart, the driver out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida for VRD Racing. Lots of opportunities for these drivers to potentially get into the draft, but Giaffoni with a pretty good gap right now. See if Brienza tries Lockhart early. Brienza's going to go to the outside. Lockhart to the inside. Exactly what Giaffoni needs right now is these drivers to scrap it out for second. And indeed, it's Giaffoni, your leader. Lockhart second. Jeffers 3rd. Brienza 3rd. Driver off the track further back there. That's one of the the VRD racing cars has gone off. We'll see if he's able to refire. Spinning the rear wheels right now. Pretty slippery over there. And maybe high-centered. I think that might be the 29 of Hudson Schwartz, podium finisher in the opening round. We'll see whether or not that could bring out the yellow. He probably dropped a wheel on the outside of turn number 1. So again, Giafoni out to a lead. Brienza slotted into second. Brienza's been able to get by Lockhart. Not quite sure if we're going to be going to the full course yellow. Hudson Schwartz still out on the outside of turn number 1. The turn 1-2 corner. Schwartz still out there. He has not yet moved, so we'll see whether or not we go full course. Right now, we're not. We're still racing. The lead for Giafoni. First time by the stripe at about a full second. Brienza was able to go into second spot. Let's see if Jeffers gets a move done. Schwartz still on the outside of the racetrack. Yeah, I think they're preparing full course. Had a quick look over at the starter stand. Here's the battle coming back. Jeffers not able to get by Lockhart as of yet. Behind them, Quinn Armstrong, who had an incident in race number 2, gets himself now up, I believe, into 5th. I think he's been able to get by Schouten, and there you go, indeed. Full course yellow for a driver off in turn number 1. That was Hudson Schwartz dropping a wheel, went off and backed it in, just not able to get the thing refired, or at least high-centered or stuck. Safety vehicles out onto the racetrack, as we know. We'll get him pulled out here. Pace car out there as well. Everybody coming to a slow there. Luckily for Carson Etter as well, he had some issues on the opening lap, so he'll be able to catch back up. Otherwise, the remainder of the field back behind the pace car and are rolling through. The AMR USF Pro Championship safety team heading over to the 29 of Hudson Schwartz. I don't know that there's damage to the car. They'll do a quick survey. I don't know if he had contact and spun, but he was trying to spin the wheels to get out of there. He may just be high-centered, or again, as I said, spinning those wheels. So while we have the opportunity, let's introduce our guest here today in the booth. Alongside the USF Juniors program here this weekend, luckily to have our official racing school, the Skip Barber Racing School, having their Formula Car Series running here this weekend. A win yesterday for Sebastian Weldon. Today, though, the driver scoring the victory. Joining me in the booth, Joshua Lionel. Great to have you with us, Joshua. And for you, two-time runner-up in the series, good to get a win to get back into it this season.
Yeah, just amazing. That race was absolutely amazing. Thank you for having me here.
Talk about the race a bit, talk about the track. Let's first talk about the race. Obviously, Weldon was kind of the leader at one point, but you talked about the fact that when you guys kind of left your paddock, there was a lot of sand on your tires. We saw a bunch of drivers having trouble on the opening couple of laps.
Yeah, the opening lap was a bit tricky. The tires were full of dirt. The track's dirty. We really need to, we're tiptoeing really around the track that first lap, just trying to get our tires warmed up.
Talk about the track temperature as well. Yesterday, I think it was like 85 degrees when you guys were out. I want to say about 65 degrees today. Was there a significant different grip level-wise just because of the temperature difference?
Yeah, coming up to turn 1, it was a massive difference. It was like the front end, the car just wasn't working like I was used to. The brakes weren't. It almost felt like you didn't have any brakes at that point because the brakes were cold. You really need to work on these temperatures in these Formula cars, and as soon as you get those temperatures, the car just comes alive.
We'll have Joshua coming in and help us out with some insight throughout the race here today. Again, a big win for him today in the second round of a doubleheader for the Skip Barber Formula Car Series here at VIR. Two-time runner-up, as I said, Joshua Lionel joining me here in the booth. We'll come back to him with a couple more updates. But right now, as we get things underway, they're going to try to get that car back on the racetrack. I believe they may have already done so. Here is the lineup as we get yellow after just one lap of competition. Nicholas Giafoni, as we know, jumped out into the early lead. Joey Brienza in second. Jimmy Lockhart in third. Jack Jeffers was fourth. Quinn Armstrong fifth. Eric Schouten in sixth spot. Lucas Facuri in seventh. Ethan Ho eighth. Max Taylor and Ethan Barker round out the top 10. Brady Golan 11th. Giovanni Cabrera in 12th. Carson Etter in 13th. And Hudson Schwartz back on the racetrack and rolling once again. I would expect full course yellow now. Of course, we're getting all the safety vehicles back into position. We'll be able to go green this next time by. And if you're tuning in here on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or on the mobile app, We have a brand new episode of our documentary, The Climb, brought to you by Discount Tire Center. If you haven't had a chance to check out the episodes of our mini documentary, it's a very drive to survive kind of thing. But we're obviously focusing on our drivers here in the USF Pro Championships. And this new episode focuses on the Freedom 75 and the Freedom 90, which happened just over a week ago at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, the oval event for both USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. It's a fantastic episode. I watched it last night as well. So when you're done watching the race here, jump on and watch it. And listen, we actually have a bit of a teaser. Let's throw that. We have some time here right now. Let's throw a little teaser up for you. If you haven't watched this yet, as soon as you're done, jump on and watch the teaser here for The Climb.
Three drivers you could see on the grid of the Indianapolis 500 in a couple of years. Down the back straightaway. Just a couple of quarters to go. And the winner of the 2023 Freedom 75. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a winner. The champagne will fly.
I'll tell you, the guys from USF Pro TV have done such a tremendous job with this mini documentary. Really good. And again, the new one's there. So when you're done watching the race, feel free here on YouTube to hop over and watch that next episode of The Climb. And big thank you, of course, to Discount Tire for being the new official tire service center for the USF Pro Championships. Again, great to have them on board. Skip Barber as well. So many fantastic partners as part of the program. Being told we are going to go green flag this next time by, but again, super excited to have Discount Tire with us, the official tire retailer of the USF Pro Championships, presented by Cooper Tires. So the drivers will get back at it once again. Giafoni, Brienza, Lockhart, Jeffers, and Armstrong, top five. Giafoni had a chance to defend quite a bit. And unluckily for him, it looked like he may have built enough of a gap that he may have been able to break the draft, and they were going to be fighting for second. That, of course, went by the wayside with the driver off in turn number one. So we'll restack them and get back at it here again. Lap number 4 will go in the books when we get back around. There'll be still 11 laps remaining. Look at Joey Brienza. He is pumped to try to get back up on top of the podium. Brienza won race number 3 at Sebring back in March. DNF race number 1, second in race number 2, and he's jumping right after it. Green flag back out, and watch for Lockhart to challenge as well. Brienza's going to try to run the rim. Can he roll the outside of 1 and 2? He may even lose a spot to Lockhart if he doesn't watch it here. Yeah, that did not work at all for Brienza. He's going to lose 2 positions potentially. No, I think he'll be able to get in front of Armstrong, but Lockhart able to go to the inside to get the spot. So move Lockhart back up into the position. Brienza goes back to third, trying to go on the outside, but didn't get through enough. A little lock up there for Schouten coming into turn number 3. 3 and 4. Back through the snake, single file. Giafoni with the lead over Lockhart. There's Jack Jeffers right there with Quinn Armstrong as well. Jeffers, who had an issue, mechanical with the steering wheel in race number 2. Having finished second. Oh, there's a driver looking deep a little further back. That kind of caught me off guard. That was Max Taylor, I think, looking to the inside of Ethan Ho. That could have got sketchy. Giafoni with the lead, but you're going to see the draft come into play here as they work their way again out at Oak Tree, down that long back straightaway to the roller coaster, which is turn 14 and 14A. Little kink to the left, up over the curb. Back down to the right, downhill through the roller coaster through 15 and 16, then setting back up through Hog Pen, which is turn number 17. Saw a couple drivers go off there earlier today on the exit. You can see the gap still being held by Giafoni. See if Lockhart can dial things in here. Giafoni looking to get 5 straight victories. He's won 5 races already, 4 in a row now. Both races at Barber, and he's won both races to start off the weekend here at VIR. Can he go 3 for 3 here, make it 5 for 5 in the last 5 races? The G-Force driver, very strong. There's the fight further back. You can see deeper in the field. Lucas Facuri now trying to go on the outside of Schouten. I believe, yeah, indeed, Jack Jeffers has got by Quinn Armstrong. So move Jeffers to P4. Armstrong in 5th. Schouten, Taylor, Ho, Fakurian, Barker, top 10. It's still Jimmy Lockhart for VRD Racing, running in that second spot, but he has not been able to close up on Giafoni. And again, the issue here, Giafoni's got the outright pace. He was really top 3, top 4 all day Thursday during testing. Rather, all day Friday during the test sessions. And then, of course, was strong, winning both the races, the race yesterday and the race early today. Lockhart's shown good speed, though, but you cannot let Giafoni pull away, especially for a driver who's looking very good in the championship right now, too, knocking down good results. He comes in strongly here right now. The point lead, pretty substantial. 51 points over Joey Brienza. Armstrong currently third in points. Lucas Fakuri and Jack Jeffers, your top 5 in the points. Got to win some races if they want to get back in this fight. Joshua Leonel again joining me here, the most recent winner of the Skip Barber Formula Race Series. Joshua, you ran up front. You were battling with Sebastian Weldon at one point, but you got out front by yourself. And look, let's come back in a second. Hold on. They're side by side. They're battling it out again. Lockhart got a good run. Let's get back to you. We know they're going to be maybe diving into turn 1. When you're up front like this, what were your thoughts out there banging out laps? Is it just about consistency and hitting all your marks?
Yeah, it was totally about consistency. You just want to make sure you want to hit your marks and try to break the toe.
Breaking the toe is key. It's not going to happen right now. Here goes Lockhart. He'll try the outside now. And coming down the bottom of the racetrack, that might be Jeffers trying to the inside as well. That was Brienza to the inside. Jeffers trying potentially the outside of his teammate. Jeffers may get by Brienza coming into turn number 3, and I think he has. Jack Jeffers to third, and look at this side-by-side battle. Lockhart trying to get by Giafoni. Brienza goes back to 4th. Right there, Quinn Armstrong in 5th spot. Lockhart throwing everything at Nicholas Giafoni. These USF junior drivers have impressed us from the get-go. 3 great races at Sebring, all green to checker. And again, just one yellow flag at the start of a race at Barber, green to checker in race number 2 at Barber. And really, we've had a couple of yellows here this weekend, but not much. A lot of green flag racing. Stacking them back up again. I think Lockhart's got a better feel for it. The tires, I think, have come in a bit for Lockhart. That may have been the issue as well. Jimmy Lockhart getting a feel for it. And again, you can talk about this, Joshua. You've raced these Skip Barber cars for the last couple of years, 2-time runner-up in this series. You have to bring those good years up to temperature.
Yeah, totally. You want to make sure those tires get up to temp, and even the pressure. You really feel the pressure going through hog pen as the cars are about to come up to. You really want to be patient on gas, and want to be patient because once you get temperature, the car just continues to get better and better.
Yeah, you know what's coming to you, right? You just got to be smart.
Yep, and you just got to be patient with your machine and put in the laps and try to be as consistent as possible.
That's it. You have to trust. That's the young drivers all getting to trust the tires, trust the car itself, and they're kind of lining up things right now. And Nicholas Giafoni, I think he knows. Oh, driver's gone off. One driver is off on the outside of the corner. Hard to pick up who that is. Looks like a potential D-Force car. They're going to battle down into turn number 1. We may have a full course yellow, but the driver did not get into the barriers, but could be stuck in the grass. We'll see if they are able to get back on. Indeed, no, they're rolling. A D-Force car is rolling. I'm not quite sure which driver it is, but one of the D-Force drivers went off. Obviously not Giafoni. He's still P1. And it's not Quinn Armstrong. He's still P5. So it's either Golan or I think it's Lucas Fakuri. Indeed, Lucas Fakuri in the number 17, the driver who comes in here, I believe, 4th in points off in turn number 17. Joshua, how easy is that to do? We saw a couple drivers do it. It's like when you come down to 17, they get up on the curbing on the outside of 17, and all of a sudden you run out of curb. If you're not back onto the racetrack by that point, you drop onto the grass, you're going for a ride.
Yeah, and this morning, I don't know if it's still dewy now, but the track or off track in the grass is very slippery, so really just want to be patient on gas because even with the dirty air from the other cars, if you're too quick to gas, the front end just won't steer and you're in the grass.
Did you use a lot of the curb there on the outside of 17 to kick back over onto the front straightaway, or are you kind of staying off it a little bit?
On the entry curb, you can use it. You just want to be careful because it can upset the car. Yep. You don't want to take too much curb because it can slice the tire. But you really just don't want to touch that exit turn of Hogpen because the car will bottom out.
That's, I think, what we've seen a couple of drivers do. Again, Joshua Leonel joining me here in the booth. The winner today in the Skip Barber Formula Car Series had a great run, trying to get himself back in the championship contention. Both the title contenders, Jackson Bell and Sebastian Weldon, having issues. Caleb Gaffera with a couple of podium finishes on the weekend as well. Third yesterday, second today. So Leonel getting himself back in the championship. We'll talk more to him throughout this race. As 7 laps are down. In fact, we'll put 8 in the books this time by halfway. And the driver on the move right now into the second spot. Look at this challenge as they work their way down into the corner around the outside, I believe. Look at this move around the outside, trying to make it stick. Can he get it to go to the inside? That's Jack Jeffers, I think. They'll go to the inside of the corner. Jeffers to the inside at turn 3. Book it. He's through. Jack Jeffers takes the lead. And here comes Brienza on Giafoni as well. Brienza locks up the left front. Side by side coming out of turn number 4 to 5. They are going at Giafoni. And there's Quinn Armstrong through. He's up over the curb. So Brienza's going to lose another spot. As Brienza went to work, Quinn Armstrong taking advantage of it. Brienza's going to try to go 2 by 2. Quinn Armstrong's going to try to pinch him over. Here comes Lockhart in as well. Lockhart's going to go by Brienza. So Brienza got aggressive in turn number 4, but couldn't complete it. And locking up the left front allowed everybody else to attack. Jack Jeffers, who finished last after an issue in race number 2, finds himself out in the lead over Nicholas Giafoni. We're into the second half of this one. And that's a significant gap right now. Is it enough for Jack Jeffers to pull away? He had this kind of a gap in race 1 before the rain came and brought out the yellow. He had just pulled enough to, I think, break the draft. The yellow, of course, brought everybody back together, and Giafoni was able to take advantage of that. But now there could be enough of a gap here for Jeffers, who made a fantastic run around the outside of Giafoni and finished the pass over in turn number 3. We'll see whether or not Quinn Armstrong can try to reel up on his teammate as well, but it's now Jack Jeffers out front in that Corpe exclusive Autosport number 92. Giafoni, and listen, if you're Giafoni, you know Jack Jeffers is down the order. Jack Jeffers currently in 5th in points. You've got a 52-point lead. If you're Giafoni, do you just hold on to second? I know you're going to try to push to close, but you don't want to make a mistake. You have such a championship lead right now. Jester, what do you think? You're a racer. Again, racers are always saying, I need to go for the win. I want the win. But do you maybe just run a little more cautiously knowing you have that kind of a championship lead?
Yeah, totally. I just put in the consistent laps, just keep the car on track, and try to stay out of trouble. You definitely don't want to be making any massive moves just for the win, because down the road, in the long term, you may lose a whole bunch of points from making a move and going off track.
Joey Brienza getting back by Jimmy Lockhart there with another move to the inside of 4. But yeah, Joshua making a good point there. And that's kind of what Joshua did. He was smart. As I said before, others were losing their heads around him while he was keeping his. He did a great job. Others driving off the racetrack. He was able to bring it home cleanly for that victory. And again, that's the kind of thing here for Giafoni now. We'll look at lap times. Does he have enough to potentially close up to Jeffers? But he doesn't really have to if you think, big picture. If you think long game and trying to win the championship and score this title and the scholarship worth over $224,000 to move to USF 2000 for Giafoni, P2 is huge because Jeffers back in 5th in points. So right now, last time by, Jeffers was the leader. Giafoni 2nd, Armstrong 3rd, Max Taylor 4th. Brienza, we believe, by Lockhart in turn number 4. They were 5th and 6th. Ethan Ho 7th. Eric Schouten 8th. Brady Golan 9th. And Ethan Barker running in the top 10. There's the gap between 1st and 2nd. There's the battle continuing to be waged. That is Quinn Armstrong. Is that Brienza by? That might be Brienza, or is that Taylor? Yeah, that's the 33 of Max Taylor. So Max Taylor has got into 3rd. He's been able to go by. It's been kind of quiet in this race. Taylor led for about 100 yards in race number 2 as he got by Giafoni, then went off track over in turn at number 17. We talked about dropping a wheel. There's the battle between Eric Schouten and Brady Golan. Golan coming off a top 5 finish, his first in the series. Oh, he looks to the inside. Wow. Ethan Ho, Eric Schouten, Brady Golan going at it right in front of them. Jimmy Lockhart. Here's Schouten looking to the inside of Ho, coming through. Oh, he's to the inside, coming through turn number 3. Wow. Great job for Ethan Ho holding the outside there. One of the things about our program, the difference of yours, Joshua, and Skip Barber, you can't have any contact whatsoever. We heavily frown upon contact, but it can happen. You don't get penalized for it. I like it to Skip Barber that you guys can't make contact. I think you really have to be precise with all your moves.
Yeah, at Skip Barber Racing School, it teaches us to be precise with our car. We want to be able to be ready for the next level, really. So, and then if we learn how to not make contact, we're all ready to go for the next level, and it'll prune us to get ready up to the next level and move on.
And you're working hard to have that low-risk, high-percentage overtake, right? I'm working a driver. You kind of push them into a mistake. You can't have any contact, and that's one of the beauties of this Skip Barber Racing School in the Formula Car Series. Jack Jeffers now a 1.4-second lead. 10 laps down, 5 to go. We've had, 3 different winners on the season. Giafoni, Brienza, and Quinn Armstrong, all winners. In fact, all 3 of those drivers tasted victory at Sebring. And since then, it's been all Nicholas Giafoni. Swept the action of Barber. He's won the first 2 races here on the weekend. Right now, though, Jack Jeffers looking to become the 4th different winner of the season. There's a good scrap further back there as well. I believe that's Armstrong still scrapping it out with Brienza. Armstrong may be back by. Jeffers comes across the line. There's Giafoni. There's Taylor. Yeah, and there's that next scrap. Quinn Armstrong gets back by Brienza. Brienza's going to go to the outside. What a great fight for P4. Brienza deep into the braking zone, trying to roll the outside on Armstrong. Remember, Brienza P2 in points. Back by 52 markers right now. Giafoni in really good position. Oh, another driver's gone off. Another driver off. That may be Hudson Schwartz again, off over in turn number 1 and 2. He's way off the racetrack right now. We'll see. He's going to get it to go. It's rolling. We'll keep an eye. I think, not quite sure if that's Hudson Schwartz yet. We'll give you an update when we can. Pick up a number there. But again, the driver who did go off in 1, folks, is coming back onto the racetrack. Just getting back on now. Hard to pick that up. Sorry. Might be Ethan Barker, but we'll get a know when they come back around. We'll update the full field because they'll put lap 12 in the books this next time by. There'll be 3 laps remaining for Jack Jeffers. 2 second the lead, so he's indeed broke the draft. His last lap time at 1:54.6. He was 6/10 quicker than Giafoni on the last lap. Giafoni was 3/10 slower than Taylor. I think Giafoni is kind of doing what I would do, and that's run a conservative race, keep it between the lines, Joshua, and be smart, right? Again, he's got a 52-point lead. His primary contender right now is behind him in 5th. So even if he gets 2nd, yeah, Jack Jeffers is going to close up a couple of points, but maybe more importantly, he'll gain even more on Joey Brienza.
Yeah, totally. It's just a damage limitation there. You just want to keep the car on track and just finish the race. Because if you make a move or make a mistake, you lose a whole bunch of points, and there goes your championship lead.
And that's it. And, the bottom line is this is the kind of thing we're trying to teach these young drivers. Stay focused. Understand the situation that you're in. That right there is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Quinn Armstrong, or rather Jimmy Lockhart, I believe, has moved his way now up into 4th spot. Lockhart 4th, Brienza 5th, Armstrong back to 6th, and right there as well as Ethan Ho. Then it's Eric Schouten, Brady Golan, and Carson Eder. Another great drive for Carson Eder. Can't say enough about the young driver Eder, who, again, his family, big into the off-road community, off-road truck racing. And Carson, of course, obviously could follow in the footsteps of the family. I'm sure he still does a bunch of that, but decided he wanted to go Formula Car racing. And he's developed so well over the first handful of races that we've had at the start of this season. He just keeps getting quicker and quicker within 2 seconds in terms of pace and qualifying. I've been really impressed with the way Eder has kind of focused on this program and the way he is really, really focused on the development. He knows what his expectations are and what his goals are every weekend, and he keeps meeting those goals. And this could be another top 10 run for the DC Autosport driver. So Eder currently runs 10th, but battling right there with Eric Schouten and Brady Golan. They are lining up behind Jimmy Lockhart, though. Lockhart, Brienza, Armstrong, and Ho nose to tail. It'll be 2 laps to go next time by. 2.3 seconds for Jack Jeffers up front. Another fast lap for him on lap number 12. Fuel load, of course, going down. Car's getting lighter. Cooper tires really hold their consistency throughout the runs. 154.619. And again, if you haven't had a chance to watch the new episode of The Climb, do that when you're done here. And there's Ho getting shoveled off. Ho contact with Quinn Armstrong. He's going to go off, and the rest of the field going to stream on by. Further back, Schouten, Golan, and Eder rolling by as some contact there in turn number 15 between Ho and Armstrong puts him off in the grass. Again, the brand new episode of The Climb available on the USF Pro Championship YouTube channel and the app. If you have not yet watched it, when we're done here, perfect time to check it out. And again, Joshua Lionel, as we said, with us here. Shout out to the Skip Barber Racing School, the official racing school of the USF Pro Championships. They're inviting drivers to compete for over $500,000 in prizes, including a $100,000 scholarship for the series champion to enter USF 2000. Look at the scrap further back. I believe that's Golan going at it here with Schouten. Yeah, that's the fight right now for 7th. Eric Schouten, Brady Golan, Carson Eder right there running 9th. 2 to go, though, for Jeffers. Again, this is the battle. Look at this. Oh, Carson Eder getting racy. Oh, he's trying to beat Golan into the S's, and he does. Carson Eder now up into 8th. He and Schouten battling it out. What a scrap. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Eric Schouten, the Brazilian, with the Brady Golan now back a couple of spots. Carson Eder in that 57 machine. Driver out of Villa Park, California. Again, like I said, Eder really has been impressive to me. Probably the most improved driver right now in this USF Juniors program. Jeffers, Giafoni, Taylor, top 3. Taylor trying to close up on Giafoni as well. Only about a 10th quicker last time by, but the scrap really is a little further back. What a battle we have. A couple different great battles. Look at Eder all over Schouten. And that's going to be for 7th. Eder thinking about the inside. Here comes Ethan Ho back into the battle as well. White flag will fly this time by. Final lap for USF Juniors. Just the one yellow right at the very start. For Hudson Schwartz going off the racetrack. That was Hudson that went off again, so he had a little bit of trouble there after a solid 3rd place finish. Watching this fight further back, that's Brienza trying to get by Jimmy Lockhart. Good fight. Right, coming up there as well as Quinn Armstrong. Just turned his fast lap last time by, so that car's coming in. He's trying to get the toe. All 3 of these drivers going to be fighting for positions in the top 5 because they run 4th, 5th, 6th, Lockhart, Brienza, and Armstrong. But here's your leader out of the snake. Coming down the back straightaway. Could we get our 4th different winner? Leader now, the San Antonio, Texas driver, Jack Jeffers, trying to get a win. It could break things wide open for him. There's that battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Brienza not close enough coming through the S's here to get around Lockhart. He'll have one more shot up into 14 if Brienza tries to go to P4. Right now, Giafoni running 2nd would stretch his lead in the championship. 52 points coming in. He could leave with almost a 60-point lead, if not a little bit more. Final lap. Getting ready to roll. Wait for them, folks, as they come down the straightaway. We will have a look at that Corpay machine. The magnetic raspberry. Or metallic raspberry, rather. I love it. This is my favorite looking car in this paddock. And we're going to see it in victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, because coming down through the final couple of corners, heartbreak in race number 2. He was leading. A steering wheel issue put him to the tail of the field, but you can now count Jack Jeffers as a USF Juniors race winner. Jeffers wins race 3 at VIR. Jack Jeffers with the win. The margin of victory, 3.2 seconds over Nicholas Giafoni, who stretches his championship lead. Max Taylor in 3rd, Jimmy Lockhart 4th, Joey Brienza 5th, Quinn Armstrong 6th, Eric Schouten 7th, Carson Eder 8th. Great run for Carson. Started 13th, up 5 positions to 8th for Eder, Brady Golan 9th, and Ethan Ho rounding out the top 10. Lucas Facuri in 11th, Giovanni Cabrera in 12th, Ethan Barker 13th, and Hudson Schwartz rounds out the field in 14th. Joshua, I know this is where you want to be next year in USF Juniors. That was a good race.
Yeah, totally good race. No safety car there, so absolutely amazing. All the drivers were able to keep it on track, and and some awesome battles.
Hey, congratulations on a great win today, man. We're going to see you. We're back. Actually, USF Juniors and Skip Barber will be racing at Road America in August. I'm sure you're excited for that one, too.
Yeah, totally. And including that repaved track, it's going to feel like new shoes.
That's it. Joshua Leonel, folks, look him up on social media. He's a driver to watch coming up through the Skip Barber Formula Car Series. Thanks for joining us in the booth. Jack Jeffers, ladies and gentlemen, getting his first win. Again, heartbreak, as I had said, was leading when he had some issues with the wheel in race number 2. He ends up with the victory here in race number 3. He's going to be a happy young man for sure. Jeffers with the win. Giafoni in second. Taylor, Lockhart, and Brienza round out your top 5, but it'll be Jeffers, Giafoni, and Max Taylor on the podium. Let's go there now, folks. Stay with us. Quick little break. We'll run some commercials, and it's time to celebrate the top drivers from race number 3.
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
Ready? And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper! It's your Uncle Cooper. Sure, once in a blue moon, you might need your tires for hauling a horse in a hailstorm. But most days, you're gonna need your tires for tougher things, like teaching your sister's kid how to parallel park. Thankfully, these Cooper Enduro Maxes aren't just tough, they're everyday tough. Okay, there's a lot of improvement. Go with the Coopers. Cooper!
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
It's ready.
Wow.
Are you sure it's ready?
Oh, it's ready. And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
It's your Uncle Cooper. If you and your truck are constantly tackling the regular duties of the day, go with a tire that can handle them all. Oh, man. I stepped in it. Go with the Coopers.
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
Ready? And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome down here to Victory Lane as we get set to go. Down here in Victory Lane, getting things updated. There we go. Microphone underway. Again, welcome to Victory Lane for the final race of our Cooper Tires VIR Grand Prix. USF Juniors putting on another great show. One quick yellow at the start. Otherwise, we went green to the rest of the race. We'll bring our three drivers up. Our presenter here today, none other than Gerardo Bonilla, the president of schools and series for the Skip Barber Racing School, the official racing school of the USF Pro Championships. So great to have Gerardo helping us out here. A well-deserved run here to third spot, folks, from VRD Racing. P3 goes to Max Taylor. Good job for Max. Hop up on top of the podium. Gerardo will bring you that P3 trophy. Max has had an up-and-down weekend, but great way to cap it off with a strong third-place finish. Championship most definitely still in the middle. We're only kind of coming to the middle part of the season right now, so a long way to go before we get to the finale in Austin, Texas. But the driver here with the 4 straight wins and a second place now pads the point lead. From D-Force Racing, second place today in this race, Nicholas Giaffoni. Great job for Nicholas. Got into second spot there, led early, got past, but held on to second. A solid point stay for him. Fourth different winner on the season. I said heartbreak in race number 2 with an issue with the car. He fights back, shows the perseverance. The winner today in race 3 from Exclusive Autosport, Jack Jeffers. What a great run for Jack. I got out front and put down the laps, and I think fast lap of the race, I believe, as well. Able to pull away there. Just kept laying the laps down. Gerardo, you come down. I'll jump up here. All right, Jack, let's have a chat, man. It's so tough for you, of course, in race number 2. You had the issue. I talked to you between races saying to keep your head up, and that's what you did. Tell me what your mindset was coming into the race.
I knew I had nothing to lose, and my engineers and everybody told me just to go for it. And I had a great mindset going in, and I just went for it.
Talk about the car, man. You were so fast in the second half of the race, it like it came alive. You were able to pull away. Were you thinking about the win over the last couple laps?
Yeah, it was going through my head, but I knew I had to stay on point and not, go off track or risk it at all. But I knew I had the pace all weekend to pull away on myself.
Who do you want to thank today?
The whole Exclusive Autosport team, my mom, my family, everybody, and all my friends, and Lou and Michael and my mechanic.
Is this going to start things off? Are we going to win some more races?
That's the plan.
There it is. Jack Jeffers, folks. That's the plan. Get those trophies up in the air, guys. Again, Jack did a tremendous job there, able to get himself into the lead. And again, we say this a lot. Obviously, it happened with Nicholas Giaffoni. He got on a run, won at Barber, was able to win here as well. Jack Jeffers finally getting the monkey off the back, his first win on the season as well. There are a number of drivers still in the paddock who I expect to see on top of the podium before we're all said and done, but we definitely have 4 tremendous drivers who have already scored wins. We know that Giaffoni's got 5, Brienza, Quinn Armstrong, and now Jack Jeffers, a winner in the 2023 USF Juniors presented by Cooper Tires. Giaffoni stretches the point lead significantly there as Joey Brienza still with a good run in the top 5. He was battling it out with Jimmy Lockhart there for a spot in P4. Good point still for Brienza, but Giaffoni getting second, stretching that gap out a little bit. We're about a month away from the next event at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Looking forward to that weekend as well. All right, guys, you don't need to wear these suits for another month. Boys, it's champagne time. Grip it and rip it. And they go after each other. Ooh, Max with one down the back. That's a tough one. Well, there you go, folks. That wraps things up for our event here. The Cooper Tires VIR Grand Prix here at the Virginia International Raceway. USF Juniors putting on a tremendous show again. Very limited yellow flag running. Tons of green flag laps. 2 winners as Giafoni wins race 1 and 2. Jack Jeffers gets his first victory for Exclusive Autosport in race number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in to the USF Pro Championships app or the YouTube channel. Perfect time now when we're done to have a look at the new episode of The Climb. It is available both on the app and on the YouTube channel. But we thank you for being part of the action. Wherever you're watching from around the country and around the world, thank you so much again. Jack Jeffers, folks, is going to celebrate the American flag coming out for the shots because it's a big win for the young Texan as he scores the victory in race number 3. And again, Jeffers, to the victor, go the spoils. Thank you so much again for tuning in, folks. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Cooper Tires, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.